The North American wild sheep has been capturing our hearts and imaginations since their appearance over 750,000 years ago.
They're a very iconic species. I think one of the main things that makes sheep hunters get hooked so hard on sheep hunting is they are pursuing a beautiful, majestic animal in the most remote, rugged, pristine wilderness environment there is.
Wild sheep were revered by the native peoples, and they became part of their mythology. Likewise, new settlers and explorers saw the sheep, and to them, they were a symbol of freedom and perseverance, the very embodiment of the wonders of nature. And to be a sheep hunter was one of life's greatest challenges, requiring discipline, commitment, strength, and cunning.
Sheep hunting is really, really difficult. And anytime that you choose to be a mountain hunter, that's a significant decision. It takes an enormous amount of effort and dedication, and there's a different thought process.
Dealing with sheep, if you have to rise to the level of the animal. These are animals that live in some of the ruggedest places of the earth. So as a hunter, you have to really dig down deep.
As North America was settled, however, bighorn sheep did not fare well. A population that had grown to an estimated 2 million bighorns in the 1800s dwindled to a level of only 25,000 by 1960. Disease, predation, proximity to domestic livestock, and unregulated hunting led them to the brink of extinction.
Well, I think when you look back at what happened with wild sheep, that it wasn't necessarily a loss of habitat that occurred. If there was overhunting and disease issues, those populations, many populations were wiped out, but the habitat was still present. We've got these remnant populations. We see that we have appropriate habitat available for these species. Let's go ahead and do some translocations. And I think that sheep as a species actually do fairly well with that. I mean, they obviously have.
Fortunately, a group of conservation-minded hunters joined forces in 1977 and formed the Wild Sheep Foundation. They began to work with state and federal agencies to expand and enhance conservation efforts around wild sheep. Their purpose? To put and keep sheep on the mountain.
So organizations like the Wild Sheep Foundation and other sportsmen's groups are critical because they are able to really drill down into the specific needs of what's required to conserve a species like bighorn sheep. You know, there's been a tremendous amount of resources and funding that's come primarily from these types of organizations like the Wild Sheep Foundation to be able to allow us to have a greater grasp on what's going on.
Today, the efforts of the Wild Sheep Foundation are paying off in a big way. The current North American bighorn sheep population has exceeded 80,000, an increase of over 300%. In 2014, the Wild Sheep Foundation directed over $4.3 million in projects for a historical total of over $100 million through the coordination of diverse stakeholders, direct financial assistance, training and education, advocacy, and direct project work. We get results and are one of the most effective and efficient organizations of our kind.
The Wild Sheep Foundation and the other sportsmen's groups are a resource that we rely on, have been there for us when we've needed them.
But there is much work that needs to be done. As wild sheep populations grow, we must proactively address new and existing challenges. Issues such as lamb mortality, loss of habitat, new bacteria strains, and disease transmission can put entire herds in jeopardy. We must remain diligent in our efforts, or we risk losing all that we have gained.
Conservation is not a spectator sport. It is one that you have to participate in.
We all have our level of being able to give. I mean, just attend the show, you've given back.
We've opened up those opportunities so anyone can participate. And it doesn't take a lot.
Make short and long-term gifts through various giving programs. Remember the Wild Sheep Foundation in your estate planning. Be a hands-on volunteer or participate in our convention and support our sponsors. The Wild Sheep Foundation provides numerous opportunities for you to continue to support our efforts. Something for everyone.
The wild sheep need a long-term commitment from all of us.
Whatever we do well for sheep, it's not just for sheep. It benefits all wildlife.
It means preserving something truly special, in places that are truly special, that we have to preserve as hunters and just human beings.
All of a sudden, I look around and I got 3 grandchildren. And you start worrying about legacy. You start worrying about what you're leaving behind. Will my great-grandchildren be able to enjoy the outdoors? Will they be able to hunt? Will they be able to fish like I have?
Not everyone can make a gift of money, but everybody can make a gift of time. So volunteer what you can, whether it's your pocketbook, whether it's your time, whatever it is. I encourage everyone to give something back. This is a tremendous gift to be able to enjoy the hunting heritage that we have. And the only way that it's going to continue is if we continue to invest in it.
Put your passion into action. Thank you for supporting the Wild Sheep Foundation and ensuring the future of wild sheep.